United States, beekeepers go about their hobby in various ways and face unique sets of challenges depending on their location. At home in Wisconsin, there are many beekeepers who engage in the activity as a hobby. Plover resident Mark Scotch keeps bees for his own enjoyment and encourages others in the area to do the same. Perhaps the biggest challenge facing beekeepers in this region is the cold winter months, where beekeepers have to decide whether to kill off their bees or winter them over.
I think up here, I don't know, I mean, just trying to hear what other people are talking about, probably the winters, but the fact that you can buy bees every spring really doesn't make any difference. A lot of people don't bother wintering their bees over. They just take as much honey as they can and then let them die out, or they kill them off basically. And just buy new bees in the spring. That's more of a guarantee. It's not the cold that bothers the bees so much, it's the moisture. And if we want to, we can go out there and take a look at it closer. Yeah, by this time they probably kicked out all but just a couple drones, you know. They're just going to eat for nothing.
Yeah.
So they boot them out. And then in the spring we'll have more drones. See on those black hives, there's those little notches right below the covers?
Mm-hmm.
Those are little entry holes into the hive. And then at the bottom, you can't really see from here, but there's also small holes at the bottom. In the winter, in the summer, they're wide open at the bottom so the bees can come and go. The numbers are up, the activity's high, so you want to be able to have them travel easily in and out. Plus there's enough bees to take care of any intruders. The numbers get low in the fall and the winter, and of course they don't have as much defense then. You know, I haven't had any trouble with it, but even mice have been known to get inside the hives. They'll crawl in there, and the bees will kill it, and then they'll encapsulate it in wax and stuff.
Really?
Yeah. Very sterile. I mean, you know, it's the inside of the hive. If you do any research, it's really sterile, and the bees keep it really clean. And it's amazing. They'll clean all this up. What's really cool about beekeeping, I think one of the coolest spots is when they harvest the honey. And these are all, I think I have some pictures, but all these frames, you know, are kind of tore up, and there's bits of wax and honeycomb and honey laying around, and it's just a mess. And you lay it all out there in front of the bees, and within a couple days, it's all cleaned up. They smell that honey, and they go add it up, take it right back in the hive. So there's nothing wasted.
Yeah.
It's really cool, actually.
Texas native Stan Key teaches a night class on beekeeping and serves as program director for his local association. He is a bee broker, meaning he buys and sells bees. The Texas climate requires Key to raise his bees with several unique methods compared to those of the Midwest beekeepers.
Well, one of the huge differences would be that we're much farther south, so we don't have to wrap our beehives in any kind of insulating materials in the wintertime, like you might up north. The queen, however, really does not shut down here. We believe that the queen is pretty much worn out from egg laying after 2 seasons. So we are constantly requeening in the south. We also are much drier in much of Texas, and so the plants that produce nectar, which lead to honey, the honey season, the nectar season is much shorter, and the days aren't as long as they are farther north. And so, for example, yes, the nectar plants start flowing later in Wisconsin than they do in the south, or southwest, which is really where I am. Up north, the nectar flow will start later, let's say May instead of March or April, but you will have nectar flowing still in June and July, whereas often by June our nectar flow is over, and we would never have a nectar flow in July.
Florida native Chappie McChesney is the founder of about 15 beekeeping clubs in the North Florida Beekeeping Association. He is passionate about both producing honey and sharing his knowledge with others. Many other beekeepers, including himself, have inadvertently contributed to the repopulation of feral bees.
But the good part of all this in this area is we have repopulated north central Florida with feral bees, because now these bees are left to hive. They've been bred and raised without chemicals. They're survivor bees, and they're surviving out there in the wild. I get hundreds of calls every year to catch swarms and take them out of houses and trees and so forth.
Although beekeepers take on different practices and face different challenges all around the United States, it is clear that they are all very passionate about their hobby and look to share it with the world.
You know, we have beekeepers and we have beehavers. A beehaver is someone that keeps bees more like they keep a pet. And that might work in some places, but it doesn't work very well here. You need to have a little more hands-on monitoring in our zone. And I always tell people that show an interest in getting into beekeeping that they need to there need to be three things that happen for them to be successful, in my view. One is they need to read and research. You can't just get a little bit of knowledge and assume that you've got all you need. Because I've been doing this for 37 years and I'm still learning new things. The second thing is they need to join a local association and support that. You can learn from your peers. You can provide learning for those that have less experience. Getting involved in a local association, and they're all over the country. And you can Google that, and there are associations everywhere, even in very rural parts of the United States. And so, and then the third thing is that once you've committed to beekeeping, you need to find a mentor to help mentor you and follow along behind and learn some hands-on experience by going out in the bee yards with an experienced beekeeper. And then once you get a little bit of learning under your belt, you really need to mentor others. I mean, that's how we get more beekeepers involved. How we gain knowledge in the beekeeping community is by helping each other.